Okay.
That's wrong.
Okay.
I didn't give you a warning. So.
No.
That would be very unfair of me to do that.
That
to
would
you.
be bad. I would.
That would be.
I mean,
that would be very unfair of me to do that.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, it is true, but true.
But let's not have someone that we really care about feel like they're objectified.
Right.
You
right.
know, that's not a good look for us.
We don't do that.
And now they're all going to be wondering, who the fuck were they talking about?
Yeah.
We're talking about the Pirate King Clover.
It was me. Oh wait.
We're always talking about Lucinda.
a lot of times.
Oh.
She does come up in a lot of conversations.
So I came up with a topic.
You did.
I did.
You know what? You did.
I came up with this topic, and it's very un-rascally.
Well, it is kind of rascally.
It kind of is, but it goes against a lot of what we talk about contextually.
True. But
let's just get into
But like
this.
Bruce Lee said, we have to be like water.
Oh yeah, I like that.
We just flow.
I like that. Speaking of flowing, hello friends.
Hello friends.
I'm Rob.
I'm Keith.
And we are the
The
Renaissance
Renaissance
Rascals. Check that out. I love that. It's we're not full tavern yet. When it's done, it'll be called the Endless Knot.
Yeah.
But
right.
we're not full tavern yet. Instead, we're slowly pirating it up a little bit.
Yeah. We're gonna get there.
We're getting there. It's part of our master plan. Ooh, look down there. Down there. Look at down there. That's the episode's title. It's
Right.
Planning for Chaos.
Yes, which is what we do.
Yes, because honestly, what Keith and I do.
Well, a lot of we just create chaos. Generally, we don't plan.
And that's typically the way that it goes when we're in the streets of Larkspurshire.
True.
And that's because we're pretty much given free license to do whatever we want within expectations on the streets. So I mean, meaning we can walk up to anyone and interact with anyone. We just don't be creepy about it. No weird innuendos. Don't be racist. All the bad things that you don't want to see in a performer.
True. True. We have a rather long leash.
We do, and I think they're just waiting for us to hang ourselves. Yeah. But since the inception of the Renaissance Rascals, a year and a half ago.
I know. We're coming up on 2 years.
Weird, dude.
Yeah.
So a year and a half ago,
Hey, wanna do a podcast?
we came up with this dumbass idea to do a podcast. We didn't really plan anything. It was literally I pitched an idea and let's do it. And we just kind of hit record with two idiots and a microphone, and two cameras, and we went nuts.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you guys have joined us for this weird journey of ours. But outside of Larkspurshire, outside of what we do at Renaissance festivals like Santa Fe and CRF, we actually do plan quite a bit.
We do.
And it's only because we need the right people. At CRF, where I could walk up to anybody and go, "Hey, what are you doing? Come here, let's play." I can't so much do that at some of the events that we've been to.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is Rob and I are very much cut from the same cloth.
It's tattered cloth.
It's balled up and gnarled and dirty, but we share an idea of kind of the end result of what we want, and the roads we take to get there are filled with many a twist and turn. It's very good because Rob and I work well together. We have, like I said, we have similar ideas. We know what we want.
We share the vision.
And
we agree on the vision. That's the big thing is that a lot of what you guys don't see behind scenes is Keith and I actually do disagree on quite a few different things.
Oh, absolutely.
Not vehemently where we're like, dude, fuck you, we're going to cancel the podcast, we're done, I don't want to see your shit ever again, don't you darken my doorstep, you motherfucker. We're not like that, but we will have different ideas on the way that something should be executed. So we actually will sit down and hash out the vision completely.
Yeah.
and try to figure out, okay, this is what we want to see. Like, I want to see monkeys swinging from the rafters, and I need a drummer, and I need blah blah blah. And we because of the way that our backgrounds, not being military, but Keith, many of you may not know this, has toured with many different bands as a drummer, as a bass player, as a lead singer.
Yep.
He also works and has been a director at several haunts in the Colorado area.
Yep.
So he's got more technical stage directing than I do. My background comes from event organizing and planning for military events. So you talk about the requirements for power and okay, I need this many players, I need this. Keith and I will go back and forth on, all right, what do we really need at the end of the day? Because we don't want to. I think it's safe to say we both agree that bigger isn't always better. Sometimes if you can do it with less people.
Sometimes, yes. I mean, we kind of go, all right, we have this grandiose scheme,
That's for later when we're
then,
millionaires.
And then we break it down really to sometimes less is more. So we go, okay, bare bones this thing. Let's ground floor it.
Yes.
Ground zero. What do we need? Not what we want. What do we need?
For example, we were invited to Northglenn Pirate Fest, and we went on Saturday, and in true Gin Mon Rascal fashion, we're like, dude, let's cause a ruckus.
Yeah.
And so, it started off, and I was like, dude, we need like drums, we need guitarists, we need violins, we need the full ensemble. And then Keith goes, whoa, dude. He goes, I see what you're thinking, and while that would be cool, we're gonna piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because usually I'm the one that's trying to tell him, like, dude, we're gonna make some people mad. Usually Keith is the one that's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And so I was full send on this, and I was like, now this is our first foray out. We're gonna make a dent in this bad boy.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, I don't think we can get all of the ensemble to come with us.
Yeah.
And we don't have time to practice it. And that was the big thing, because I think we were only given like 2 weeks lead time on it.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And on top of that, we were coming out of Santa Fe.
Yeah,
the week prior.
It was the weekend right after Santa Fe. So
we were spent from Santa Fe.
Yeah, and then we had to work all week, so that just led to
and really, Northglenn was concocted while we were at the Airbnb in Santa Fe.
Yes.
And I was like, we'll just do the songs that we know, some shanty style songs that we know, and we'll just troop down the pathway, and we'll see. And then, being who I am, I was like, well, let me reach out and make sure that we're okay. So I reached out to the event organizers. They said, yeah, we'd love to have you guys come on down. Just don't interfere with any of the stage acts.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, cool. How many stages do you have? Oh, there's only 2.
Yeah, well,
there was 2.
Yeah.
There was only 2 stages. I said, okay, cool. So we were very mindful of who we were, where we were at, and we pulled ourselves all the way to the back. And
we started. So, as we do, we started on one side of the festival, and we
did a recon.
We worked our way to the back of the festival. Stopping strategic places to do a song or two, and then we got to the back of the festival, and it was a really cool spot, away from most of the vendors. There was a couple right around there.
They were actually happy.
But the ones that were right there were yeah, they were
about
cool.
it. They were about it.
A couple of them were actually fair vendors.
Oh yeah.
So they knew us from the fair.
Yep.
So they were like, yeah, right on. Armored Fairy.
Love those guys.
My favorite peoples.
Yes.
The Ringleys are fantastic.
He keeps buying their stuff.
I do. Just take my money.
This is why when the Rascals LLC hits, he's going to be on a very tight budget, very, very limited access to the budget, because otherwise he's going to put me in ring mail. I could just see it happening.
Oh, dude, it's going to be. You're going to have ring mail and incense. And, it's going to be great.
No. I will do that when you commit to that mankini.
Right, which I'm sure if I asked Alan, he would probably make one, a ring mail mankini. Which I will never ask that question because I don't want to know his answer.
Looking at you, Alan.
Don't do it.
Looking at you, Alan. Whenever, darling, if you wouldn't mind putting a little bit of a spin on this one for us.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to get you in trouble now. Talking about
it's the last
decking me out.
Anyone wants to see is me
decking me out in ring mail and incense. I will have your dignity, sir.
You know, ring mail incense. It's very Eastern.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the smells.
Well, it makes you smell better.
I never smell bad.
That's true.
For a pirate, I'm actually very well bathed and well groomed.
You're well groomed pirate. One of the cleaners.
Yes, well, that's the Eastern influence. That's why.
True.
There you go. That's we're gonna go with that.
But yeah, we ended up at the back and we had a great time.
Yeah.
There were.
There were so many people.
We had a very good crowd that gathered. They were invested in what
people
we were doing.
Just stopping like, oh my God.
They brought the mermaid lady over so we could sing the mermaid song. I mean, it was fantastic.
It was ridiculous.
You know,
but getting into the planning of that, you know, it wasn't just, hey, we're going to go do this. I had to grab a couple of people. I was like, hey, I need Sebastian. You know, I want to have these guys. And really it was because I wanted to help our buddy out. Our good buddy Sebastian just released his CD, you know, his recordings, and we wanted to give him some spotlight for that. And hey, you know, dude, if you are into shanty music, check him out. He's really good. Don't pay any attention to his naysaying on, oh, wasn't that great, dude? Shut up. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was great. Stop it. But we ended up getting together some singers. Most of our friends, most of the people that came out with us were our friends from the Renaissance Festival, just looking for another venue to perform.
Right.
And that's really the most amount of planning.
Right. Well,
and then I put together some songbooks.
As far as they go, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you and I really kind of hashed out a lot of, you know, it was a lot of, you know, text messages and, you know, getting stuff on board. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Yeah. Hey, I like the idea, but what about this?
Right.
And
then it also turned into, well, I don't know if we can get away with that.
Yeah.
Because we let people know what we were doing, and they were like, yeah, we're about it. Let's go for it. But at the same point in time, we wanted to make sure that we weren't stepping on people's toes. Again, guys, just to keep you in the full disclosure, Keith was the one that was reining me back in on this one because I was like, let's go. And
he was going a little crazy with it.
I was riding a high,
which I totally got. But it was like, all right, well, you get it. Bring it, riddle down, Garth. let's keep this. Plus the other thing.
It's a Wayne's World reference, kids.
Yeah, right. What I think, you know, also what we had to keep in mind is we had just joined the Crimson Mark.
Yes.
And so not only did we have kind of the event rules that we had to follow,
we were following the marks and rules.
We wanted to make sure that we were not only showing out well for ourselves.
Yep.
We were showing out well for the Renaissance Rascals.
Yep.
But we were also showing out well for the Crimson Mark.
Yep.
You know, so all these things we had to kind of keep in mind, and that's where some of Rob's ideas, I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's.
I was like, dude, we could do fight scenes down the aisleway. Wouldn't that be cool? And he goes, yeah, I don't think they're gonna let us do that.
Yeah, like let's.
I was like, well, we'll just do it, and then we'll ask for forgiveness later. And he goes, yeah, you know, the forgiveness you're asking for is like the cops, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they're gonna enjoy that.
That's not good.
You know.
So, and we again, you know, as the Rascals, yeah, we do like to bring our brand of organized chaos, but we don't want to infringe upon anything that anybody's doing or got going on there. And even if somebody had said, hey, you guys are being too loud, can you go somewhere else, we would have griped a little bit and then just scarpered off.
Yeah, we would have picked.
You know, we're as crazy as we are very respectful towards our vendor friends, because that's how a lot of people make their money. You know,
well, we had the one vendor.
Oh, that one that stopped us.
She stopped us and goes, "Wait, you were singing down there? Can you do a song here?" And we did like 1 or 2 songs.
Yeah, we did 2 songs right in front of her. That was the lady with the scarves.
Yes, yes.
The pashminas.
Yep.
She was really wonderful. She was like, "You guys are so amazing. Are you guys going to be back?" And she asked me, she goes, "Are you guys going to be back next year?" I said, "I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it depends on if everything works out."
The answer as of right today would
is
have been yes.
Well,
but who knows what the next year is going to bring?
It really is we're pretty firm on yeah, we want to, because again this coming year, Santa Fe is the week before Northglenn Pirate Fest.
Yeah, it's working out to where we'll be able to hit both again.
As long as, knock on wood, no venue changes dates, we're lined up.
Yeah.
So, however, this is where it gets really funny because we only went down for Saturday this last year.
Yeah. It's too hard to get up on Friday, though.
For me, it is.
Yeah.
Unless I take that day off as well.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
So anyway, I might be running out there while Keith has to find his own ride up.
Rob may be there.
But you know, it's great because I think we've got 10 or 12 on crew right now.
Yeah.
For Gin Mon, which is a very few hand-selected people that are performers. So we're slowly, steadily. The intention is that we will continue to populate with people that we find are good performers that want to live the Rascal way and have fun.
Well, I think we have eight official members.
Correct.
And then we have 4 or 5?
4 or 5. Five stowaways. 5 stowaways.
Yeah.
And those are very steadily.
For those who don't know,
we don't call them recruits. We call them stowaways.
Stowaways, yeah. So they are part of our ship, but they're not official members
crew.
of.
They don't have
they're not crew yet.
They don't have a position on crew. Meaning, I'm the captain. Keith is my first mate. First mate Sleepy. So if you ever see him, you can address him either Lord Robert Adelborn III, or if that's too much, just yell, "Yo, Sleepy!" If he's awake, he'll respond.
Yes. Between 2 and 2:30 on
yeah,
fair
he's
days,
screwed, dude. You're not getting him. He's going to be napping. You want an autograph from him or an interaction?
For providing me a comfortable nap spot.
Secured.
Nap spot, yes. I know it's coming. I don't fight it anymore.
No, it's hilarious because there's so many performers that we perform with that are just like, what is he doing? I'm like, dude, it's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's nap time. And then everybody's like, well, don't you take a nap? And I'm like, yeah, after everything's over. And they're like, so you just let him nap? I'm like, yeah, again, I'm keeping him alive. I said, he's a grumpy bitch if he doesn't get his sleep.
Yeah, I need that. And you know what? It's so funny. It's like 15, 20 minutes. And it's
really
just enough
it's so uncanny because
recharge the battery, and I'm ready to go.
But
I'm good the rest of the day.
It is so uncanny because it literally is 15 to 20 minutes, at worst 30. But I don't ever have to wake him up. It is, he's up.
Yeah.
And then he'll look dead at me and go, "You ready to do this?" And it's so funny to me because, and I laugh every time because I'm just like, damn it, dude.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, he just, okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? And I'm like, well, you're not dressed. I'm not dressed. Let's get going.
Yeah, we get dressed.
Then we finish our stuff, get all of our belts and everything back on, and then
down the King's Road.
Down the King's Road we go because it's we like actually walking outside of the gates and outside of the walls because we're an oddity.
Yeah,
we're really an oddity. People look at us like, what the hell?
We do on the way.
We're
going in there. Hey.
Or as they're walking out, they're like, we've been stopped a couple of times for pictures.
It's so funny. It's like one last interaction that they never expected that was
going
to happen.
That's right, and it's just something that gives them something,
Yeah.
But that's part of what we talk about, like our planning. Everybody looks at what we do and they're just like, hey, you guys are so off the cuff and so out there, but we do plan quite a few things, the Christmas caroling, the pirate caroling that we did at the Kris Kringle Market. Along with that was something that took me. Oh man, I think I started reaching out in October on that one. Was it October or September?
September.
It was September.
Yeah.
We reached out in September to the Veterans Community Living Center.
It may have been.
No, it was October.
August.
Oh, was it?
No,
it was October.
September. It was September because we had talked about it.
Yeah. We talked about it on the way from Santa Fe.
Yeah, you were like, "Hey, we should do it." And I was like, "Done. Let's do it."
Yeah. And so we reached out to the Veterans Assisted Living Center at Fitzsimmons, which is actually in Aurora, Colorado, and we took a contingent of, and I think there was 10 of us. Yeah, let me do the math here. That one and that one.
12.
Violinists. No, it was 10.
Was it?
It was 10. We had 10 people and we were asked to keep it small because we only had a little bit.
Yeah, it was not
space.
A large space.
No. But, you know, I came up with a set list. I ran it by the boarding party that was going, which is what we call our cast when we're going on these forays. Very piratey. You know?
Hi.
So I sent it out to the boarding party, and I was like, hey, guys, take a look at this. Let me know what you guys think. We can change this. This is fluid. I'm not the final say in it. You'll have a couple of opportunities that pass. And some songs were cut. Some songs were added.
Yeah.
We cut Parting Glass because we were already singing Health to the Company.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing. So we cut one over the other. We didn't do Santiana at the Veterans Home because it didn't fit with the mood.
Yeah.
As much as I love that song, it's one of my favorites. We cut that one. We added in God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. We added, because it sounds kind of pirate shanty. Then we added in Welcome in a New Year, that was led by Maeve Wall, also known as Kelpie Haddock,
Yes.
at CRF. She's one of our mermaids at CRF. She's one of our deckhands. Fishmonger, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, and mermaid down in Santa Fe.
In Santa Fe.
Yeah.
I don't know what her name in Santa Fe is.
Kelpie Haddock.
Sure. Okay, we'll go with that.
So, but the planning on that was pretty organic. I took care of the more official capacity of things, reaching out to the Veterans Home and saying, hey, this is who we are. This is what we'd like to do for you guys. Do you have the time for it? There's a little bit of scheduling snafu. I'm not sure if it was on their end or if maybe I just spaced it and forgot. But we were a little bit behind schedule according to what they had us planned. But we still pulled off a good 1 hour show of singing. There was quite a few of them that were very thankful for what we did.
Yes.
But again, it was very, all right, I want to have a guitarist just for the melodies.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotta have the rhythm.
the rhythm. Keith brought his cajon as drums, which was nice. It wasn't overbearing.
Yeah.
It was nice right in the background. We had 2 violinists. We had a flute-neer.
A flautist.
A flute-neer.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a musketeer, but they have a flute.
Sorry, seriously.
Oh no, she loves it. I said that, and she was like, I'm about it.
A flute-neer?
A flute-neer.
Wow.
I pitched it to her. I was like, dude, it's like you're a musketeer, but you have a flute.
I'm sorry to everyone else watching this show.
Oh my god, man. So and we had 2 violinists. The tiny one, the tiny human came and played, and then the lovely Vina came out and she was very, very awesome performance. She came in as Jack Sparrow, which was kind of funny. Yeah. And then we also had some vocalists come out there that were with us, and it went, once we got rolling, it went well. The getting into it was a little choppy because we were behind schedule.
Yeah, it was kind of snafu'd from the beginning.
But that's and we did what we normally do.
But we picked it up.
You know, it's the Rascals. We have a tendency of we're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it work. It's the show goes on. So that went over well, and then the other one that was kind of being simultaneously planned, because somebody told me about the Kris Kringle Market, and I was like, dude, I haven't been to one of those in a long time.
Yeah.
Like the last time I went to one was in Germany, and I was like, I want to go to that. And my wife was like, yeah, I want to go too, and I said, cool, we're gonna make it a pirate event because we're already up there. We might as well go.
And we did.
And so then we shot it out to the Commodore and said, hey, I want to make this an official event. Let's do a pirate invasion of the Kris Kringle Market, and let's have some fun. Now, this is one that I feel bad for because I did not reach out to the event organizers. Somebody else did.
Yeah.
Like 10 days before the events.
Yeah. I'm not sure who did. But they were like, hey, by the way, you're going to be invaded by a whole bunch of pirates.
Yeah, and it was real cool because there was a lot of people that were just like, whoa, what are all these pirates doing? It's ridiculous. Why are they all here? Well, we're pirates. We just like to have fun.
Yeah, it was very interesting seeing a bunch of, English pirates and a German
in a German
Christmas market.
Yeah, English pirates led by a Chinese pirate in a German market.
Yeah. I mean, we covered a lot of bases right there.
We really did. We really did. The only thing that we were missing was maybe a Spanish representation, maybe French.
No, we had our navigator.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a half elf.
True.
Maybe the half the half human
the other
portions.
half is Spanish.
Yeah, the half. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the human half is
the
Spanish.
human half is Spanish. Poor bastard.
Right.
So getting back into the planning of it, it was we ran through a couple of rehearsals on the caroling event to make sure that it was we had it together because there are so many different versions of Christmas carols.
Yes.
While all of us performed together at the Renaissance Festival, we all know the songs that we sing there.
The shanties are the shanties.
Yeah, they're easy.
The songs, the songs that we do at CRF are going to be the same.
Yeah.
If you go to Santa Fe,
you
go to Texas,
you go to Minnesota, you go anywhere. It's pretty much the same
they're
ones.
They're going to be the same.
Might be a little bit of variation on tempo.
Tempo, I would say, probably would be really the only
maybe
thing
tempo and pitch.
Yeah.
And that's
the
about
key
it.
is maybe different, but
yeah.
But yeah, Christmas carols. Oh, goodness! I mean, come on.
There's how many different versions of White Christmas are there?
A lot.
And then we ended up doing the Drifters version. Which was really fun because
it was great.
it brought a little bit. I mean, dude, you should have seen the veterans. They were smiling. Everybody was smiling with it. It was a good time. And then even at the market, everyone was like, "Whoa, this is kind of cool."
What are they doing?
Yeah, we were just being goofy.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of planning that took place into that, which is all kind of prepping us because. So let me back you up a little bit. Down in Santa Fe, I perform with the Santa Fe Neverland troupe, and I helped to draft up the scripts that we used. We had 3 different, it was actually 4.
It was 4.
4 vignettes that we did, and there was some choreography that was done there, and there was a lot of moving pieces, and we only had 4 weeks to prep.
Yeah.
And it went over well. It went over well. We executed properly. But it was just like, to me, in my brain, the planning portion of me is like, dude, that was cool. Imagine what would have happened if we had more time. More time to hone this in, more prep. And I'm not blaming anybody for that. This is just my brain and the way that I planned military events was, just, okay, I want to do this on this day. So 4 months prior to, you doing your backwards planning, I got to do these things. So all of this is kind of culminating into where we're at right now.
Right.
And right now we're planning for this massive event. It's a 1-day event, 200-seater, by the way. We kicked the limiter off. Originally we posted it was 100. Now we're kicking it up to 200. 18 and over only, no weapons. You can bring your own mugs, but you have to fill your cup by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll provide you a cup when you buy your drink, but you have to fill it. You have to put it in your vessel yourself. Okay, so it does have to be empty when you're coming in. Alrighty. And leaving. Thank you. That's I wouldn't. You wouldn't think that you have to say these things.
You wouldn't, but yeah, it's just like fair.
Yep.
Mug has to be empty.
Yep. Mug has to be empty. But so the thing is that this started off, and this has been backed up twice. Originally, we were looking at a December performance.
Well,
and it was just going to be us hosting.
I was just gonna say this whole thing started off with another person asking Rob and I to kind of MC an event.
Yep, that's Chris, our buddy Chris from Denver Celtic Night.
Yeah, and it was, hey, why don't you guys come out and you can MC the show? You know, you can do your little riffs as Rob and I do, and do kind of
what you guys do.
Do what we do. Yeah, that's kind of the way you phrased it. Really, it was just do what you do. And Rob and I were like, all right.
Yeah, we can do that. That's easy. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just got to show up and riff.
That's cake.
All right,
yeah.
Cool, we got it.
Yeah.
And then
it turned into.
And then I get this text. Hey, dude, you got to call me. And I'm like, okay. So I call Rob, and he's like, so there's been a change.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, what are we doing now?
It's a full show.
We have to plan a show because they're not going to do what they originally planned on doing, and so they just put basically everything on us, and we have a whole show to plan. And I was like,
the reality of it is that we were given the opportunity.
Yeah,
I was asked, hey,
if
do you guys want to do your own show?
Yeah.
To which we rise to the occasion. That's all there is to that. And I was like, well, hell yeah, we want to do our own show.
Yeah.
And I think I can get the right people to plan this out and make this thing a banger.
Yeah.
And so I told Keith, and he was like, wait, what have you gotten us into?
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to put on a show. And his first reaction, again, was hesitance. Like, dude, do you realize how much crap we have to do to put on a show? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, then why the hell did you volunteer us to do this? And I'm like, it's not volunteer. And he goes, whoa, wait, what? And I said, well, we're trying to finagle something to make this our first paid event as the Rascals. This would be really cool to start off. A smaller event that's gonna give us the opportunity to plan with our friends and put a show together for you guys.
Yeah.
That is interactive in the style that is the Rascals, because you don't show up to you don't come to this. I mean, I got it. We're talking at you, but we're kind of interactive with things like that. When we're out on the streets in Larkspur, we're definitely interactive.
Yes.
So for us to turn around and just go, hey, we're just going to get up here and sing some songs.
Yeah, no.
That's not us.
No. And so we, once again,
Keith has said no to me a lot in the last 60 days. There's so many no's that are floating around.
There's been some struggle. But, Roz, all right, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and this, and then we're going to have elephants and rhinos. And I was like,
hey, the rhinos were never involved. The elephant was.
Yeah, I know. So no, but, in all honesty, we Rob had this idea, and I loved the idea.
It's just not for the first one.
If we were in, like the Pepsi Center, would have been great.
No, I think that's too big.
Denver Coliseum.
Still too big. The Denver Civic Center.
Civic Center. Okay.
Like if we were to do like an interactive, that's what I want, guys.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what Keith and I have talked about for a year and a half now is like putting on an interactive dinner theater show.
Right.
Where
as we immersive.
Yeah, immersive. Where you're part of
the show.
Yeah. And so that's what we're aiming for. And so I was like, dude, we can do this. Like, we can have this now.
Yeah.
And Keith just looked at me and he goes, you're insane. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, you know how quick that is, right? Because originally the date was like December 26th.
Yeah.
And this was us talking in like October.
Yeah.
And the middle of the week, October. This is like Keith's
I'm in the
haunt
middle of
season.
haunt season, which
And he's like, dude, you need to calm down. I'm like, that ain't happening. You're gonna run with me, or I'm gonna leave you behind. And he goes, no. You just give me a minute. Let me call you back. I'll call you back tonight. I'm like, okay. So for the rest of the day, I'm like, I'm doing things because I'm in go mode, and I'm typing shit up, and I'm having a good time in my head, and I'm like, all right, cool. Then we talk, and he goes, December 26th, really? I said, well, that's the date. And he goes, is that the only date? And I said, no, I think we can go later. I think later might be better. What do you think? He goes, yeah, later would be better. Who the hell is going to come out on December 26th?
yeah.
I said,
Like the day after Christmas.
yeah.
The only thought in my mind is I'm gonna have like 4 people in this place.
And so I was like, all right, I'll concede to that. All right. So then I reached out to our buddy Chris, and I'm like, yo, dude, give me a date in like January, but keep in mind that we've got 2 events that are really big that I don't want to compete with because our friends are putting these shows on.
Yes.
Which is Halfway to Fair on the 11th.
Yep.
You guys go to our Facebook page. You'll see the event on there. That's up in Westminster. Northglenn. That's up in Northglenn. You can buy your tickets online for that through the event. And then there is the Colorado Renaissance Masquerade Ball.
Right.
Which is down in Manitou. Our wonderful friend Pirate King Clover, also known as Lucinda, does that event.
Yeah.
And so if you want, again, check the Facebook page. You'll see the event there because we try to help promote her. She is wrapping up the ticket sales because that is an event that you can't show up to at the door because it's a catered event. So there's tickets in advance.
Yeah.
But you still have time, so get onto it now. So I said don't have it on the 11th or the 18th. Those 2 dates are no go. We can't do anything those weekends.
Yeah.
And so then Chris reached out to me and he was like, hey, I got a date for you the 8th of February. And so I immediately grabbed my calendar out and I was like, okay, I got my little planner and I'm like, all right, that's a Saturday. Saturday is doable.
Saturday is very doable.
And then I said, wait, that's the Saturday before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So, for St. Valentine's Day Massacre at Tortuga. Yeah. What?
We're not doing a massacre.
Oh, that's right. You told me I couldn't have the no fighting unicorns.
Yeah, no, we had to get rid of the unicorns.
Yeah, also known as rhinoceroses.
Right. Yeah, you try to pull a fast one.
So, we settled on the 8th, and we're in plan mode. So just to give you guys like a little bit of a tease, I'm not gonna give the whole kitty away. It was all right. This is what I want. And this was my idea. This is what I want. This big grand thing. We're gonna have people that are interacting. We're gonna have people working the crowd. They're gonna come around. They're gonna do all these things. And then Keith looks at me and he goes, "Yo, dude, that's great. I love it. It's awesome. What's the space look like?" The what?
Yeah.
He literally goes, "How much room do we have?" And I'm like, "Well, we gotta like they call it the dance hall, so it's pretty big." And he goes, "No, dude, give me a diagram. Like, give me a diagram so I can see what kind of space we're talking."
Do you have a picture? Do you have a layout? Do you have anything?
I sent him a shit ton of pictures I had scarpered off, but like I scout these pictures off of Google. I'm like, "Dude, look at the space." And he goes, "This doesn't help me."
They're great pictures. I mean,
they're amazing. They're awesome.
Lovely pictures, but it does not give you a dimension of what you're looking at.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
I want to know feet and inches.
And so I reached out to the owner of Mercury Cafe. I'm like, "Hey, I need a diagram, dude." And so he sent us a diagram. And it is a very relatively large space.
It is.
But
it's set up nicely, but.
I would say it's more of a dance studio than a dance hall.
Yes. It's not as wide as I had originally thought, but it's long and narrow.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things that we had planned.
That we had to change.
Once we actually went and we looked at the space this last weekend.
Yeah.
And so once we got into the space, we're like, okay. Now I could see where we were going. I could see everything started to pop into my head.
And then this is again where we started arguing because he's like,
then we started
I'm like,
arguing.
I need this much space so that I can have people that can dance. And he goes, we're not sacrificing seats for dance space.
Yeah.
And I said, we're only having 100 people. And he goes, Rob, we can fill this entire space with people. And I said, yeah, but I want that intimate feeling. And he goes, you're gonna get that. It's only 200. You and I are used to thousands of people that we're weaving in and out of. And I said, yeah, I kind of want that. And he goes, you're not going to get that kind of space. You'll need the Denver Coliseum for that.
Yeah.
And this is when it started clicking in my brain, and I was like, oh yeah, we're not going to have that much room. and I mean, you guys should have seen the look on my face, because it was like,
it was kind of a light bulb moment.
I was crestfallen. Like, it was just like, oh. And then it just, oh, that's why I get it. Because then I started really thinking, like, event-wise, like event planner-wise, I was like, okay, we got to have egress for fire. We got to have egress for bathrooms. And then I started mapping in my eyes, like in my mind's eye. I was like, okay, this has to be at least 3.5 feet wide for people to go through here so that they're not being hindered while they're going to the bathroom or all these other things. And then Keith just kind of looked at me and goes, you're understanding it now, aren't you? And I'm like, I'm seeing it. And he goes, okay. And so then we started thinking about it. We're like, hey, where are we going to put our VIPs? Because that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So we settled on five tables? 4 tables. Three tables with 4 around each table where they can just kind of sit up front. So, you know, if you guys go to Tortuga and you see those tables up front, if your name's not on the card, don't sit there, please. I will remove you. I will do it in the most ostentatious, obnoxious way possible that you're not going to be right.
Yeah. It's so...
I do this respectfully.
A little bit of a backstory for me in planning events with Rob is like dealing with a squirrel that has ADHD.
Look, dude, I see the like, I'm seeing the final product in my head. And okay, I'm gonna throw this back at Keith.
What about this? What about this? What about this? We can do this. We can do this.
I'm gonna throw this back at Keith.
Caffeine, sugar, caffeine, squirrel.
Wow. I'm gonna throw this back at Keith. Hey, man, how many pages was your backstory for your character?
I have a lot of descriptors.
Yeah, how many pages?
It was 3-ish.
And how many pages was it supposed to be?
Like
1
paragraph.
So this is where
long
Keith and I really kind of, everybody says you guys kind of think the same way. We really do.
We do.
We really do, because we have this in our eye, in our mind's eye. We have this vision of what it can be.
Yeah.
And what we want it to be. But for me, I was a dog with a bone. I was like, no, this is what I want. And so then I kind of conceded again to the thought of, all right, remember, Rob, this is the first one. Yeah. We can build to that big, one-day, massive, catered event that you want. And I'm like, okay. But let's see how this runs. And I said, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So to calm my brain, before having all of the site walk and everything, I started doing, all right, we're a 3-hour show. We're gonna have 40 minutes of songs. We're gonna have 20-minute intermissions. We're gonna have these are the song set lists. Which, by the way, I have. I'm probably going to build some programs for this. I'm going to print those up on my own, and then if you want one of those, you can have one of those at the event. Yeah. We're also inside of that program. It's going to be like a little pseudo mini songbook. Kind of. Because I'm going to give you guys the chorus, because as shanty should be sang, you have a person that's doing the calling, and then you respond with the chorus. Right. So that's kind of the route that we're going. But I planned that out. I've there's so much on the back end, and it's funny because I'm more versed in like the presentation and the back end of planning, where I can break down, okay, this is the timeline of events, this is how we want it to go. It's a very fluid timeline. It's not we're on the clock.
Yeah.
Every minute is accounted for.
Yeah. Cut the song. You're 30 seconds over.
That's not the way that it
No.
runs. And when I built this, I had to explain that to Keith, because Keith also knows how my brain works.
Yeah.
If I say 2:30, we're on the move at 2:15 to get to where we need to be with a 5-minute lead time.
Yeah.
It's my military training. Sorry guys, it's just the way that I am. I'm normally on time for everything. But Keith was like, hey, just so that you know, we're not going to cut a set because it went a little long. If we don't have a 20-minute intermission, then we don't have a 20-minute intermission.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm good with that. That's fine. But I want to have built-in time for people to get drinks,
Yeah.
order food, do what they need to do.
Well, the 20-minute intermission isn't going to start directly at 9 o'clock at the top of the hour.
No.
It may start at 9:10 when we get done.
Or it could be
we won't
8:50,
we
yeah.
won't sacrifice the entertainment and the quality of the show
for a scheduled break.
For a scheduled break.
Right.
It's much like when we act at CRF or anywhere else. Yep. We get our breaks when we get our breaks.
Yep.
Sometimes, hey, we can get a couple different breaks, and this is awesome. And other times, Rob and I have moved so much, I'm like,
all right, we need to figure something out. I'm tired,
break.
yeah.
Like, I got to sit down for a minute, dude.
Yeah, and oftentimes when that happens, we usually just duck behind the Royal Pavilion and we just take a knee behind the Royals for a little bit.
It's
just
like,
to catch our breath, and then we're back at it.
Sit here. We got to get some water.
Yeah,
We're
got to eat our
to
Scotch egg.
like,
Got to
gotta
do our
get a little
things.
nosh in there. Something.
But planning this whole thing Tortuga wise, it's a lot of it is completely different the way that we handle things because of our personalities and the way that we communicate. And oftentimes it's none of it is ever in malice. It's and there's been a couple times Keith's like, no, that's stupid. I'm like, what you need to explain why that's stupid. And he'll give me a good justification, and I'm like, all right, you're right, that is dumb. All right, what if we went at it from this angle instead? All right, cool, and then we'll go back and forth on it. But nothing like, and it's really weird because for the last year and a half, predominantly everything that we have done has been off the cuff.
Yeah.
And we have an idea, but because we're now adding in a drummer, a guitarist, a bouzouki player, 2 violinists, a flute-neer. You knew I was going to do it.
I knew you were
I don't know why. I don't even know why.
I was waiting for it.
Yep.
Like, he's going to freaking do it.
We've got vocalists. We've got, choreography that's going on there.
Yeah.
We've got different improv actors that are going to be doing things.
Yeah.
And so we're putting it all together and we're piecemealing it. And it's so rough because it's like, all right, this is what we want. Now we got one piece put together.
Yeah.
We can leave that piece, and we handed that off to a couple of other people that are key in the music performance. And here, take lead on this.
Yeah.
This is what your time hack looks like. Here's the set list.
Yeah.
Take a look at that. Massage that how you need to, but that's kind of the route that we want to go. There's a couple of things that cannot change because it's the vision of the way.
It's key to the show.
Yeah. And thankfully, we have these consummate professionals that work with us.
Yeah.
That are like, okay, I see what you're wanting.
Yeah.
And it's funny because some of them have very diverse backgrounds. Like, oh, well, I did stage theater, I did musicals, and I did all these other things. And I'm like, okay, cool, I get that, and I'm going to take what you're saying into consideration, but let me pilot with my first mate, and we'll figure this out, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Or I'll actually tell them, well, Keith and I talked about that, and we decided to nix that because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I don't like telling people no just because. It's not right, especially when you're dealing with creative people.
We have a reason for everything.
Yes.
That we've done in the show, in our many I wouldn't say many, but we had a few different kind of like rewrites.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we've gone through.
Rescheduling things.
We've gone through many
things
rewrites.
around. Yeah, you know.
We've gone through many. The scripting alone.
Yeah.
You and I have gone back and forth on the scripting
Yeah,
a couple of times.
it's like we had to hit. There's key things that we had to hit in each one of these so that the entire thing makes sense. Because like I said, it's an immersive show. It's not just a bunch of people standing on stage, singing songs.
No.
It is.
No, that's not our style.
It is totally different. So if that's what you thought it was, it's not. It's not a stage show. It's an immersive show. So the whole room becomes the stage.
Yep,
so
and you're part of the bar.
Yeah, it's so like a night in Tortuga. We'll just break it down. So the whole thing about it is the Pirate King Clover. She just became Pirate King, and she's called the fleet to Tortuga to celebrate her victory. And so this just happens to be one night that the fleet is all together at this tavern in Tortuga.
Some of us have traveled from across the globe to be there.
I'm with this guy, so...
And I sail in the China Sea. What do you want?
Yeah. I thought we were going to Albuquerque.
We were supposed to take a left at Albuquerque.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Clearly
We went right, obviously.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and then we just kept going.
Which that is again one of the things that we wanted to do was this is a cause for celebration for our dear friend to be recognized and honored in such fashion that we wanted to let's throw our friend a banger of a party.
Right.
And so now Pirate King Clover has commanded the Crimson Fleet. You will be at Tortuga, and Jinmon is leading the way as far as entertainment is concerned. And so we invite all of you to join us for this because this is going to be a night of fun. It's going to be a night of singing. My voice is probably going to go out at some point in time. Because I don't know how to be quiet.
Yeah, no. So I mean, there's singing, there's dancing, there's acting, there's music, there's drama, there's
comedy,
there's I mean, it's
hard to without giving anything away.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you more. I totally.
But
wish
we don't want to ruin the
If
the
I
surprise.
could give you details, like here's.
Ooh, I can give up a detail.
Oh, good.
Okay, you ready?
Okay,
All right.
Keith is going to be dressed up like an English lord pretending to be a pirate.
Or am I a pirate
pretending to be a... Oh, I like that. See,
English lord.
And then a little bit... Just I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Okay.
But just a little bit.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
A little bit.
I'm going to dress like a Chinese pirate.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to wear the hat, though.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm going to have enough room
Maybe not
inside of
inside.
the... No. I don't know if there's going to be enough room.
I don't think the hat inside is a good idea.
I think if I'm on stage, I could wear the hat.
Probably, but it's got to come off.
Yeah. At some point.
That's
Maybe I'll put it on the bar.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll take the hat off and put it on the bar.
Yeah, put it on the bar.
Yeah. Because, we're supposed to be indoors. And oh, yeah, speaking of, no weapons, guys.
Oh, yeah, no.
That includes your little flintlocks. Please leave those at home.
Yeah.
No flintlocks, no blades. No blades, no bows. Leave your weapons here. Yeah. Robin Hood.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. But do come and expect to have a good time because there you have to pay for your own drinks, but there will be a bar up there that is specifically for Tortuga.
It's just us. It's our bar.
They are working on finding a way so that you can order food at the bar upstairs, and then you don't have to leave the venue.
Yeah.
You don't have to go downstairs to order food. So that's coming. Well, more about that, and that's part of the planning that's going on the back end that you don't really pay attention to.
These were questions that we asked the bar that they had never thought of before.
Yeah.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we should look into that.
And I mean, dude, we haven't even executed this event, and we're already being asked, like, have you thought about knowing more?
Yeah.
And the short answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
But yeah, this has definitely been a labor of love for Rob and
I don't know if that's the right word.
I don't know if that's the right word.
It's this has been a very glorious battle that we have been fighting.
It has been.
And for us to be able to meet this on the front line, and be given the opportunity, it's so awe-inspiring. You know, I sent out a text to our crew today, and I'm just going to get a little sappy here, but I am very blessed in my life because I have met along the way the people that make me happy. This big bastard here, you know, riding along with me and keeping me in check, but at the same point, encouraging my craziness.
Yes, and vice versa. He
absolutely.
There's been times where he's like,
yeah, I like the idea. I don't think we can get away with it at that venue. We might be able to do it somewhere else. But you know, to our crew that's out there that has risen to the occasion on multiple occasions to perform with us and provide a moment where everyone, not just the people that are our friends, but just mere passers-by that are like, whoa, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Making an impact the way that they do. I thank every single one of you, and to the audience that's out there. You guys keep me going. It's you guys make me feel like what I am doing is the right thing, and I'm following my calling of wanting to perform and make people happy. Which is really weird because now it's showing up in the Tiny Human.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Oh yeah.
You heard about her musical?
Uh-huh.
She's been cast in her first musical play, Newsies.
The Newsies.
Yeah, she's going to play Albert, which is one of the principal characters.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to be like ensemble, and then they had her read for Albert, and she was like, okay, I'll do it. And you know, from concert violinist to actor to choir. Now she's going to do choir. She's going to do freaking improv. I mean, the kid's a powerhouse, man. It's just, oh man, that's the future. And she's like, Dad, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, I don't know why. And I said, we got to find you a tubby bastard like I have.
Right.
You know, it's my hetero life partner.
So as she gets older, we're gonna have to find. I mean, I'm gonna have to like adopt a kid.
No.
So
we'll just
way.
No. We'll cast the part for your kid.
That's probably a better way to go.
Yeah.
So along the lines of looking for a baroness, still, we will also be. What are we going to call it? Is it a squire or is it?
Yeah.
What do you call a duke's kids or a lord's kids? They're not princes.
I don't think so.
Because you're not in royalty. Oh.
We'll figure it out.
Lord Surrey, help us out.
Yeah, someone please. But yeah, I'm gonna need a son, so then that way they can take over and be the next generation of Renaissance Rascals.
Or a daughter, because I mean, they could do exactly what we do.
That's true.
I mean, I'm a man. You're kind of a man.
If anyone has a spare child around the age of 11,
yeah.
Just let us know. We would start training now.
Yeah. Get them trained up, and get their studio set up and everything. And
the Renaissance Rascals have to go on. I mean,
we're gonna keep going,
dude. If we're gonna be 80 years old doing this.
Oh God, we're gonna be Waldorf and Stadler by that time.
We already are.
They wouldn't let us do it. That's why we didn't get a parapet ship last year.
I know. I totally.
They knew exactly what we were going to do.
Yeah.
These two idiots are going to be sitting in the parapet making fun of everybody as they're walking in. Look at what he's wearing. He's wearing a skirt. It ain't 9 yards. I'll tell you what, though, man. I mean, just the oddity that is it. We pivot as we need to, and planning these things out has been a challenge.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's not like we have. We
don't have the experience. That's we have experience in doing these things.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
What's crazy.
It's funny because when you look at the project as a whole, like no matter what the project is, it's like you and I each have our own areas that we excel in.
Yep.
You know,
We fill gaps.
and so we have multiple projects at the same time, but they're timed out differently. Like, you know, the caroling thing, and then the Christmas market and Tortuga. All these are happening at the same time.
Yep.
As well as now we're I mean, not at this exact moment, but you know, after first of the year, we start planning our CRF run. We
Yep.
start planning
Santa
Santa Fe
Fe.
run.
Yep.
You know, and then there's things that pop up in the middle of those things that, you know, all right, oh yeah, well, now we got to plan for that too while still doing all this. So it's not like,
We're
you
constantly
know, we
busy.
just sit here and go, all right, that's pretty cool, man. What are we gonna do? You know, we really plan out a lot of things. You know, and like CRF, you know, we plan out, okay, we want to do this, we do this, hit these key points, but that's really it. We have just the ideas.
Because we're at somebody else's schedule at that point.
Yeah, we have the ideas of things we want to do, but they're not fleshed out like
what we're doing
the
with
shows
Tortuga.
are.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little bit different, but we still have to plan, like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to go over here, and then we're going to go over here. But, you know, Rob and I are very fluid in the things that, like, you know, oh, we didn't get to that
Next time.
Next time. Okay, so that goes on the list. Hopefully we get to it. If we don't,
There's next year.
there's next year. You
Yep.
know, and so yeah, it's
Although I tell you, you know,
it's frustrating and rewarding at the same time.
and a lot of that is like because we are used to being flexible. You know, as the old saying is, you know, all battle plans are great until first contact.
Right.
We have a tendency of
Or like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth.
yeah, that's true.
That's kind of where we're at.
Which a lot of things that we've done so far, it's like, all right, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
And we saddle up, we strap everything in, and we're on the move.
Yeah.
And thankfully, people have trusted us enough that they're like, hey, you guys are actually having a good time. Let's. I want to do that.
Whoa, you guys know what you're doing.
Not really.
No.
I mean, that's the joking portion of us where we will. Well, not really, but in reality, we do know what we're doing.
So, Rob, and I'll speak for Rob on this.
Oh God.
Rob and I.
Do you want me to leave the room?
No.
Okay.
You know, Rob and I are very humble people.
For the most part.
You know, it's never about us.
Nope.
You know, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, obviously, you know, yes, we're the ones that put on the show. We got all this stuff together, blah, blah, whatever.
But it's really about
But-
the people that are performing with
Yes,
us.
we're we like to showcase people.
Yes.
You know?
That's why we have our guests that come in.
Yeah, you
You
know.
know, we got next week. We've got Sarah Bonney.
Right,
She's coming in from Blades and Bravery.
right.
But that's why we do that, is because we're trying to. We don't feel that it should just be us.
No,
You know,
you
our
know-
ship's motto.
It's people that we find interesting, you know. if we do,
For one reason or another.
for one reason or another, or you know, we've heard people go, "Oh, I really like them." Oh, cool, let's get them on the show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see someone on the show,
Me?
not you.
Oh, I'm already here.
You're already
Yeah.
there,
Okay.
and no one's
Not
asked
me
for
again.
it. And no one's asked for it either. But you're still
That's
here.
you.
Okay. Maybe. But yeah, no. If you guys want to see someone on the show, drop us a line. Let us know. We will definitely reach out.
Dude, we have no problems with asking people, you know,
No.
to come and sit with us so that we could find out like the inner workings of things. I want to get our friend Don Quixote to come on because he's a traveling act. You
Yes.
know, and I that's something that
Yes.
a lot of our
And not only
viewers
that,
ask.
he's a fantastic human being.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's just a fantastic.
Plus, I owe him a dinner anyway. I told him I'd cook for him.
Oh, see, there you go.
So, you know.
yeah. So you may see Don Quixote on the show.
That would be fun. You know, there's. Don't ask me to get Jacques on the show. That man's more busy than I am. No, Keith. No, Keith. No, Keith. Keith, leave that man alone.
Oh no, I'm getting him and his pants on the show.
Oh my God.
He will wear the pants on the show.
You can't see the pants,
All right, he doesn't have to wear pants.
dude. If you stop that. And if you get him up here where you can see the pants, well, that's just at eye level. That's not right.
He can sit on my lap.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, maybe
we're gonna talk
maybe
later.
that.
What the hell?
But hey,
But a lot of
weirder
it-
things have happened.
A lot of this goes into the thoughts of what we are building as far as the community of actors that we're trying to get people to understand. Like, you take 10 years ago, before the advent of TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff,
Right.
no one would know who half, maybe 80% of performers at the Renaissance Festival are.
No.
Because, and Keith and I were stuck in a car yesterday. God, that was horrible.
Yes.
But we were stuck in the car, and I said, it's kind of weird because we're a niche market of a niche market. That's our operating space.
Yes.
So when you look at like the acceptance and all the media space of what has happened, you've got Ren Fair, the mockumentary that came out.
Did you ever watch that?
It's on my list.
Okay. Yeah, I have no interest.
It's on my list because I want to
heard from
see.
enough people that it's absolutely horrible.
I don't
just-
trust other people's opinions.
These are pretty trusted people.
I'm still that guy.
I just like.
I have to go through.
I
it.
wasn't going to watch it anyway because I personally have heard enough about.
I don't know about that. I mean, the big
guy,
thing is
but
I don't have a dog in the hunt because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
really
either.
I don't really care about Texas Renaissance Festival.
No, I mean
But
not necessarily.
that's not the only
but if
reason why
you
I
want
s-
us to perform there, you can reach out to info@renaissancerascals.com.
But the reason why I say that is because I haven't been there.
True.
So
True.
it's not that I don't like. Oh well, they're from Texas and I don't care about Texas. No, dude, I lived in Texas for multiple years.
But we have been at the Arizona Renaissance Festival, which will be at March 1st and 2nd, 2025.
Yep. So I would, and we actually, that's one of the events that we talked about going to was Texas.
Yeah.
But it's timing is everything, and
It's
we
a
can
weird,
only
It's a weird time when they do that fair.
and we can only fit in so many things because
Yeah.
we have prior commitments that we have to hold true to. So I'm not saying I just don't care about that festival. I don't know anything about it other than what people have told me, and I'm a naysayer, and I don't. Someone can have a great experience, and someone else can have a really bad experience. Until I have the experience, it doesn't register in my brain.
I mean, really, other than it being in Texas, I couldn't tell
Right.
you a lot about
Right,
it.
and that's a long drive for us. I think somebody told me it was like a 14, 15-hour drive, almost as bad as going to Arizona,
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
which we're going to fly this time.
Yes.
I wonder if they'll let me on the plane with my sword.
No.
So I need to put that in check baggage.
Yes.
So I need a bigger bag.
We're gonna need a bigger.
But what we're really doing, as far as what we're trying to accomplish with the Renaissance Rascals, is we're trying to build a community of performers and patrons and patrons that all have this mutual respect towards one another and are willing to help one another, whether it is to present a better festival experience
Yeah.
as a performer or as a patron, or if it's you finally dragged your significant other along because they've been kicking their heels and I don't want to dress up, that's stupid.
Which we see a lot of.
We do,
We
but
see a lot.
but you know what? That's how you get started.
It is
You get
true.
started by somebody dragging you along, and that's part of the grand master plan. So what we're trying to do is present that the opportunity for everyone to connect.
Yeah.
We're trying to connect and build a community of Ren Fair lovers.
Yeah.
That-
and the thing about it too, and sorry to cut you
No,
off.
you're good.
but, the thing about it is and I know it's going to sound bad because it sounds bad in my head when what I'm
Throw
about
it
to
out
say,
there.
but I don't mean it in a bad way. We're very guarded with who we let into our community. It's not a free for all. Like, oh, I like your stuff. Come on in.
No,
We don't want to let everyone in, but it's, and I don't want to say we're just inclusive
We're not elitist.
or elitist.
Yeah,
or
we're not
anything like
elitist.
that, but it's just we have a vision of what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have someone who does one thing, we're not going to let 15 people of the same thing
Yeah.
in. It's like maybe a couple, sure, but not everyone gets
Well,
to get in. It's just
It's kind of like, if we were to have guests on that did the same style of acts,
yeah,
it would get
Yeah.
very boring. It would be the
Right.
same thing, and then it becomes cannibalistic because now you've got different people that are they're feeding off of feeding off the same fan base. So it makes it hard
yeah,
for it to grow, because when you're when you're eating away at the same audience members, it makes it really hard to continue that growth.
yeah. I mean,
Thankfully,
it's like I constantly promote 2 cents worth
Yep.
incense.
well, you've got your few shops.
I love them.
Yeah.
I not and I'll throw their name out there. Not to say that Kamala's incense is bad.
I think you just have
or
a
anything.
better personal experience.
I just like 2 cents worth better. So it's not that I'm saying don't shop with Kamala, but that's what I'm saying. It's not that I'm elitist. I like their stuff better.
Well, and I think you actually like the shops that you have a tendency of pitching and promoting. You have a personal interaction
Yes.
with the ownership.
yeah.
And I think it's not a slight towards anybody else.
No,
it
not at
is
all.
just, hey, that's our friend.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're at. Like we know a couple of different people that work with Ringmail.
Yeah.
One of them has a shop, so we promote that one more willingly or more often
Yes.
because they've got an established place.
Yeah.
And hey, you can go over there versus go online. You can order these things special order, and then you're not able to feel, because that's something that Keith and I share in common. We like the tactile feel of a product when we're looking at it,
Right.
versus
Such
hey,
as
look at
these
this picture.
Custom
These wonderful custom
mugs from D&U.
Yeah, Dragon and
Dragon
Unicorn Muggery.
Muggery.
You can get one online for $55, or you can buy yours at the Colorado Renaissance Festival for $50.
There you go. Yeah.
So
Limited run, by the way.
limited run. I think there's only 100 or 150 is what they were planning on doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So-
But you guys can order yours, support us, and support them.
And
But-
they're fantastic people.
Getting back to the whole planning thing, the number one thing that Keith and I have going when we take on an event and we're like, hey, we can do this, is what are we really trying to accomplish? That's
Yeah.
the big thing that we ask ourselves.
Yeah. But why are we doing this?
Right.
And, and sometimes Rob and I have asked ourselves, why are we doing this? But
We'll do it in the middle of it too.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Wait, why are we doing this again? But yeah, what's the goal? Of what are we trying to accomplish? And we kind of work. I would say work backwards from there.
Yep. Call backwards planning, kids.
And then we go, okay, well, to get there, we're going to need this, this.
Yep.
And then we go, backwards. Okay, now here we are at the beginning. We've got all these ideas, and
Let's
now
pare
it's-
this down.
Now it's time to start cutting some chaff from the wheat.
Now we got to pare it down so that it's
this works. This doesn't
a
work. This works.
logical show.
Yes.
Because that's the craziness, is that as wild and chaotic as Keith and I are in the streets of Larkspurshire and Santa Fe, we do want to provide structure when we can, because if it's just what's the bohemian craziness of let's just everybody bring everything and let's all go wild,
Yeah. No. That
you
doesn't
you
work.
lose the idea of what we're trying to accomplish, which is, and it all goes back to one singular phrase, and Keith is responsible for this. We rise together.
Yeah.
We rise together. It is, we are showcasing people and their talents and their contributions, but at the same point, it is us presenting to you all a show that you can enjoy. And at the end of it, you're going, man, I didn't know about Sebastian. I knew about Arlen McNaughton, who was
Yeah.
going to be.
Oh, I've seen him at the fair.
Yeah, I've seen him at the fair. I didn't know he did all of this stuff. Or who the.
He always looked like a diva.
Yeah, who.
He is.
He is.
Sorry.
And you can't bribe him with spaghetti.
bribe me with spaghetti.
Yep, there you go.
Totally.
All lasagna donations can be placed right here.
Yes.
I love a good lasagna.
Oh.
Okay,
so I have to ask now. You brought it up.
Yes.
So, do you like the original, like Italian non-ricotta cheese, or do you put the ricotta cheese in the lasagna?
I actually like the original.
I do. I do too.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you put down the ricotta cheese
I'm gonna
in front
eat
of
it.
me, I'm going to eat it.
I'm gonna eat it.
But
Yes,
it's a texture thing for me.
Yeah.
It's a texture thing for me. I'm not a huge ricotta cheese fan.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sprinkle it on the top.
Sure.
You know, like Parmesan.
Like a little crumble.
Yeah, like a little ricotta cheese crumble, or I had this once, feta. A feta crumble on the top of a lasagna. Oh my God, it was good.
Huh.
Yeah.
That perplexes me.
I don't look it. I like to eat.
I look it. I
And
like to eat.
this is another reason why Keith and I get along really well. Because
We're foodies.
we are.
But getting back to it, a lot of what we do is built around the concept of we rise together.
Yeah.
If only Keith and I are going to benefit from it, we probably will not do it.
Yeah.
Because as crazy as we are, and and this is, I'm trying not to sound egotistical, as entertaining as we can be, 3 hours of this will grow stale.
Yeah.
You'll get tired of it.
Unless it's one of our live shows.
And then you're good for about 2 hours.
And it's about 2 hours,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
And then we do them at night, so I start to get tired.
well, and you still have to drive
I
home.
still drive home.
That's the other problem.
After working up there.
Yeah, no, that's the but
A lot of what we do is because
we want to make sure that we are showcasing the talents
Yeah.
of those that perform
with us,
and that we trust to perform with us. And I think that's the thing is it's trust.
It is.
you know, you said it earlier where you were talking about like you don't want to sound
Elitist or like you're the guarded. It's a trust thing.
Yeah.
It is 100% a trust thing.
Yeah.
If we can trust you to do what we want you to do, or put on the show that we want to put, you're matching our vision,
then great.
then and you can demonstrate to us that we're okay. It's kind of like any other gig, really.
Yeah, and it's like, there's people that are on the crew that I've known for years.
Some of which,
there's a couple that I just met.
yeah,
Only because of you. So, but I trust you that they're cool people. They're cool people. All right, I've met them a few times.
Yeah,
they're cool
yeah,
people.
yeah.
But I couldn't. I leave it up to you. If you say they're good, they're good. I'm with it. But
except for that one guy. You know who I'm talking about?
The deckhand.
No,
Which one?
no, the other one. Yeah, he likes to call himself First Mate Sleepy. Can't fucking stand that guy.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
He's a dick. But the deckhand is a close tie too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy's a diva.
He is.
He's famous. Did you know that?
That's what it says.
We give him crap, but we love him. He knows what we're talking about. He's
But
awesome.
yeah, no. So whenever I guess the big takeaway for me for this episode is if you guys are planning something, make it realistic.
Yes. Well, not just make it realistic, but be realistic in your planning.
Your expectations can be to the stars, but
Way out
if
there.
Realistically you can achieve it, and I know people are like, "Well, go for it anyway. If you fail,
Dude,
you learn."
rhinoceros won't fit upstairs.
Yeah.
It's just the weight capacity is not
I mean,
there.
yeah. If you fail, you learn. I get it, but at the same time, don't outkick your coverage. Like
Well, and
make it feasible
You
for what you're
can't-
doing.
you
Like,
can't overextend yourself. That's the big thing.
And
Is
that's a lot of what Tortuga was. Is we had all these great ideas, and then we kind of whittled some down. Some went by the wayside, and then once we saw the venue, then we're like, okay,
we pared it down
now
even
we gotta
more.
pare this down a little bit more.
And then we had to get we had to get in our principal players to come in to
Yeah.
okay, how much space do you need?
Yeah.
We had to do a lot. And this has been, for me, it's been a bit of an experience to try to figure it out, because usually like military events, it's like, all right, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Showtime's at this time.
Yeah.
And you'll all be here at this time. And then everything kind of fits together because I can trust this little cadre to do what they got to do, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
With this, it's really all right. And I saw this during our walkthrough with all the ideas that started cropping up, and I was like, all right, I gotta squash this. I gotta squash this. And it wasn't me just like, oh well, no, we're not doing that because that's not what I want to do. It really was like, no, I get what you're saying. I understand. But
Yeah.
What I really need is I need the expert on this.
Yeah.
I can't talk about this without the expert because he'll have more knowledge about this. I'm not going to ask someone that's not a dedicated sound guy. I mean, I know you have experience.
Yeah.
And I have experience running a soundboard. But when it comes to stage production, I'm not that dude.
Right.
And so I'm waiting on that dude to show up.
Well, it was just like, going through like the lighting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we can do this and we can do this and we can do this. And I was like,
Why?
no, right as it stands right now, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we want.
Why?
And he's like, and once we explained to him why, he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because it's not meant to be a rave, man. I mean, it's Tortuga.
It's an island tavern in the 1700s. It's like,
Yeah. Give us just bare bones. That's what we're really looking for.
We're still dealing with candles here, brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
Which,
not a bright room.
hey, man, maybe I order more of these.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those things where it's we have those grandiose ideas.
Yeah, I mean the lights look cool, but aesthetically,
it detracts.
No.
It detracts.
yeah. It's like, no, that's
So
not
it's
what
like,
we're
dude, just like you could cycle into colors. Give me like a warm orange,
doing. Yeah,
and leave it at that.
yeah.
And we'll
that
work with
mimics
it.
Candlelight,
Yeah.
that's what we're dealing with.
Right, and then hey, what's the seating gonna look like? And
Yep.
then it was, hey, we need rehearsal space. Oh God. Thankfully, they stepped up and they're like, "Hey, if we don't have anything going on, we can give you a couple hours." I'm like, "Dude,
Perfect.
thank you."
Yes, we'll be in and out.
Yep.
2 hours.
2 hours. We're gonna roll in. We're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna run through the paces, and then
We're gonna run through a 3.5 hour show in 2 hours. Quickly.
we'll probably actually run it twice in that 3 hours
Yeah.
because we're probably only gonna focus on the problematic areas.
Hotspots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this is again, you guys are seeing this real time. This is literally
how Rob and I talk.
how it works when we're planning shit out. The only time it is no, we can't do that is when we're talking travel.
Yeah.
Like, and that is, hey, we're flying down to Arizona, right? Yeah, cool. What flight number are you on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, how are we gonna get from the airport to your mom's place? Oh, we can rent a car, or we can Uber it to my mom's place. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll get there.
I mean, it's one of those things that we may very well end up just renting a car so that we can drive down and do whatever. Yeah, do whatever we got to do if she doesn't have a vehicle that I can use. But it's like, okay, cool, got it.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the simplest ways that we plan shit.
Yeah.
Other than on the streets of Larkspur, where we're like, so
That's what we want to do.
Occasionally we'll look at each other and, hey, we should run this, and okay, yeah, let's do that.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll go walk around and do that. Or, hey, I got dice on me. Oh, cool, let's go play some liar's dice with people.
Yeah.
So that's a good time. That's kind of why I wanted to have the table spaces so that we could have liar's dice going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the venue doesn't allow for it.
Yeah. No.
Except the VIP tables.
The VIP tables they could. Yeah. But then if they're playing liar's dice, they're not watching us. So.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We can always throw things at them when they're playing liar's dice.
You want to throw things at the Pirate King.
Yeah.
So,
Like little
if you ever
foam
thought
cannonballs.
about co-hosting a podcast, because my co-host is about to die,
Whatever.
she'll kill you.
I ain't afraid.
You liar.
I'll hide behind you. I ain't afraid of shit.
Dude, I can't. I'm married to her.
I could talk all this shit. That makes it even better because then I'm never at fault. It's your fault.
That's true.
See, there you go.
Sorry, honey.
But I did. It's not my fault. He came up with the idea. I did not. That's it. I'm out.
It was so funny because I'm only married to one of her personalities.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just now tangled up with all of them.
That's how that works. I told you. I warned you.
You did it.
I did. I said from the very back. You didn't hear me? Don't do it. You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, you weren't listening. You were just under the spell.
What? Well, she had a hood.
Yeah.
And then she took it off.
Yeah. I tried to warn you.
Changed a lot.
I don't do it. I told you, dude.
I figured I was already in.
Yeah, you were up there.
So might as well. Yeah.
Plus, I think you were at sword point too.
Yes, I was.
It was a sword point wedding.
I was in cuffs.
You guys asked for it. We made it happen.
I was in cuffs.
Oh my God, that's I think that does it.
That does it.
This is a good episode.
It was. So yeah.
Got a lot off my chest. They're just talking about like the planning of things, and
yeah,
a lot of people don't understand the intricacies of it.
So if you take one thing away from this episode, is
we're nuts.
Well, okay. So if you take two things away from this episode, one, we're nuts. Yes. The other thing is, come see us February 8th, Tortuga at the Mercury Cafe, downtown Denver, 8 to 11. Get your tickets online.
You can also get them at the door.
You can get them at the door.
Since we're opening it up to 200.
We are. You can get them at the door. Get your tickets.
They're $25 at the door.
Yeah, 20 online, 25 at the door.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, shows 8 to 11.
Bring your mug.
Bring your mug.
Leave your weapon.
Don't bring a sword.
No weapons. No blades. No blows. No blades. No bows. No pistols.
Leave your weapons at the door.
No cudgels. Do I have to keep going?
No, I think they get it.
You think so?
No
shillelaghs?
Yeah.
No, it's a weapon.
Technically, it's
no knives. No daggers. No kukri. No tantos.
Yeah,
I can keep going.
I know you.
I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
Riddle down, Garth.
Yeah. I do owe somebody an answer though.
Oh.
Yeah. About a hood.
Oh yes.
I got to find out about it because I do
definitely
want him to come.
I do. But yeah, guys, come down, see our show. It would mean the world to us to see you there.
This Renaissance Rascals presents a night at Tortuga.
Featuring
Sebastian the Singing Pirate. Sebastian
Yes.
Vane the Singing Pirate.
Arlen McNaughton,
Also known as the Giggling Fiddler.
the fiddler extraordinaire.
Yep. And special guest appearance by none other than the Pirate King Clover. So make sure you guys get your tickets today. It's a great Christmas present. Oh, you like that?
I like it. That was pretty good.
And if you screw up and you don't get them before Christmas, it's a great Valentine's Day present.
Even better Valentine's.
Yeah.
Valentine's.
Yeah, that's...
Send your early Valentine's with us.
And then you could populate the ship with little rascals of the future. Yeah, Valentine's Day. Come on. It's a stretch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Love is in the air.
He's thinking. He's
love.
Forethought.
Exciting and new.
Oh Lord. All right.
Come
we're
aboard.
Done.
We're expecting you.
Oh God. Here we go.
Tortuga.
Oh, what did I do to this?
A night of excitement in Tortuga.
Why, Lord?
It's funny, dude. That. Come on. I rolled with that pretty well. Leave me alone. That was a good ad lib.
It was something.
It was
an ad lib. Yes.
Oh my God.
I will agree with that.
I'm tired of you keeping me down. I'm a peacock and I gotta fly.
Oh God. Oh, it's going wrong. It's going so wrong.
Well, friends. It's been fun.
It has been fun.
I'm Rob.
I'm Keith.
We're the Renaissance Rascals.
We are.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, friends.